body's used to. Let's say you get sick, unfortunately, and you go to 140 pounds. You know, when you get well, your body's going to come right back to 160 pounds. It's not going to stay. You follow what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, right.
Because your body and you're cellularly conditioned to be at a certain weight. Well, when I lost that money again, and I recognized that same pattern, that same amount of money, it struck me the discovery of this aha that said, oh my gosh, in the same way that we have a set point when it comes to our weight, we have a set point when it comes to our money. And I realized that this is what was holding me back. And so I was doing work on myself already because I wanted to be a much better parent than I was at the time. And I realized that I was kind of doing what my dad had done, and I didn't want to do that. And so I realized that I needed to be a better parent. So I started working on myself, and I came across some amazing methodologies from many, many different arenas as to actual processes to revise my own conditioning patterns, which is where the set point comes from, where the money blueprint comes from.
Right.
And when I was able to do that, Chris, it was like, I don't know, the skies opened up with diamonds. I don't know how to describe it. Everything I touched after those processes turned to gold. All of a sudden, I had this Midas touch. You know, in early days, when I touched a stock, it would go down. My friends would buy it, it would go up. I touch it, go down. All of a sudden, even my stocks were going up. The real estate I got into went up like crazy. The businesses I was in, they started going crazy. Everything I touched just went crazy. And I realized that I had come upon something here that was something that was untouched and undiscovered and that nobody really talked about. This money blueprint and this set point when it comes to what your life destiny around money is going to be. And so, you know, talk about passion. You know, I was all over this thing. I wasn't doing seminars on it. I was teaching business seminars, but at my business seminars I kept on throwing in about this whole arena around the blueprint and how you have to change this in order, if you want to make any serious money. Because I would go to these seminars, do the teacher seminars, and some people would do well and other people would do terrible, you know, even from the same tools. And I realized, again, it's your toolbox, not your tools. And so I said, you know what, enough of this. I'm going to set aside the business stuff for just a little bit. I'm going to create a brand new dynamic program based on what works for me and what changed my life here. It was at the time called Your Mind and Money. I put this program together for all the people I was teaching business, literally hundreds. And sure enough, Chris, it was the same thing happened for them. All of a sudden, people's lives totally and erratically changed. And it was like, you know, it was like we had pulled out the weeds that truly stop people from creating the wealth that they have. You see, everybody's got flowers. Everybody's got good stuff in them. And the problem is, in their garden, the problem is that, you know, we have these one or two big, massive weeds that suck the energy and the nutrients from the flowers so that they can't grow. And when I did this program, it was not only the most popular program that I'd ever done, but they started friends and relatives and people started coming from God knows where and overseas, and was like, oh my God, I really hit on something. But it was my passion, and I found that when I was teaching this course, I was a different person. I was the best person that I could be. And it was making me grow to do this program. And so I did it based out of passion. And sure enough, once again, as you mentioned in the introduction, we have one of the largest companies now, seminar companies in the entire world. I have 137 full-time staff in head office, which is huge for a training company of this sort, as you know. Yep. Most people have 2 or 3, maybe 5 or 10 at the most. And we're just flying. We've done now over 250,000 people at the 3-day Millionaire Mind Intensive. When we do a Millionaire Mind Intensive, which is called now, it's been revised and it's totally, you know, in the cutting edge of everything now. When we do this 3-day Millionaire Mind Intensive now in, for example, Los Angeles, as you probably know, we will have for 3 days 2,500 people sitting there, as you say, on the edge of their seats and working away for 3 days. When we just did New York for the very first time, and the 3-day intensive about maybe 4 weeks ago, we had 1,600 people in our first shot in New York. We did an evening event 2 weeks later, and the people were so excited that they would say that how many people they sent. Listen, I don't know if you know this, Chris. We did at the Manhattan Center. We had, it only holds 1,000. We crammed 1,300 people into this place. The fire marshals had to come. and it was like one of those soccer matches. People were trying to run in the back door, jump over the gates. It was a joke, and we were scared that people would get hurt, and people stood outside the whole night in order to get one of these books, one of the first copies of it. And this pandemonium is occurring only for one reason, because we've hit the root cause of financial success. And when you work with the roots, the fruits will take care of themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. And Harv, I have to make one comment here, is that my experience at your courses, even when there's 1,000 or 2,000 people in the room, what you do, which is remarkable, is every single person feels like they're getting personal instruction. That's what I heard from person after person after person as I sat through those courses.
Well, it's all energy, and the more the merrier. It's unbelievable. The more people that are there, the faster everybody moves.
Yeah, it's really quite remarkable. So you made a comment that I want you to come back to, if you would, again. You said that you made a shift. Once you realized that there was this money thermostat or set point, you made a shift, and then everything started turning up gold in your life. Can you talk more about how it is that someone's money set point gets created and what it is that goes on to create that financial blueprint in the first place?
That's a really, really good idea, because when we understand where the blueprint comes from, and by the way, just really quickly, the best example I know of the blueprint in action is what I talk about in the book is Donald Trump. Here's this multi-billionaire who loses everything and more. 2 years later, he's got it all back again and more. Why? Because his financial thermostat is set for high. Take lottery winners. They win $5, $10, $50, $100 million. 5 years later, half of them have no money left. Why? Money blueprint set for low. It's that simple. It will run your life. It will determine your decisions that you would normally say are very logical decisions. And you know what? They're completely logical to you. They come out of pure choice. They make complete sense. They're fully logical. They are the